This is not a very good hunting channel. Today, I'm going to do a bit of a recap of the gun season that we just had here and let you know how things worked out. Stay tuned. Okay, well, we'll do a bit of a recap of the week that I was up. Um, Here we have a 2-week gun season in November. I think it starts on the first Monday of November, so it was late this year. I took the week off, the second week of gun season off, on vacation, and planned to be hunting with my dad that week. So between stuff going on at home and stuff going on with my dad too, I got out here on the Tuesday during the day. Set up all my stuff, unpacked everything. My dad had gotten up here the week before to do a bit of hunting and get the camp tidied up and stuff like that. He didn't see anything. He didn't hear anything. I forget how many days he was out here the previous week, but he had to go in for a doctor's appointment, so he just stayed in for the next couple of days. He was supposed to come up with me on the Tuesday, but things didn't work out. So I was up here by myself on Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday evening. I went out the Tuesday evening. I went to the newsstand. It was pretty warm that evening. I forget exactly how warm it was, but I think I was only in my Celsius Midi and the base layers, and my hunting vest. This is like a fleece blaze orange vest. So it was pretty warm evening. Didn't see anything. I think I got some footage of a grouse walking by. He was there on and off throughout the week, walking by and feeding from what was left under the feeder. So that was a Tuesday. Woke up early on Wednesday to go out. Same thing, go to the newsstand. Didn't hear anything in the morning. No shots either, so I didn't hear much. Same thing on Tuesday. I don't think there's very much hunting going on in close proximity to where we hunt. Every now and then you'll hear some shots going off in quick succession, but that's because we're kind of close to a river, so people are goose hunting or duck hunting, so it's a long ways off. You can hear the shots. So that was Tuesday, Wednesday evening. I got to see a nice owl flew up into one of the trees next to me, and he was paying close attention to what I was doing. So I watched him for a little bit, so that was pretty cool. So I took off Wednesday evening. I went back home, had some stuff to do, take care of at home over my vacation time. So I didn't get back out here until Friday afternoon, and my dad was here, so that was nice. We went out he went to the tripod stand, which is at the other food plot, the newest food plot. We had been seeing does walking through and eating some of the brassicas there. No bucks or anything like that we'd seen, but he didn't hear or see anything that evening. I went back to the newest stand, and I heard a doe bleat fairly not too far behind me, but so heading toward the orchard and what used to be the soybean fields. So yeah, something was walking in behind there. I heard a doe bleat. It was very quiet, but nothing else. Nothing else walking by. Nothing within eyesight, anyways. So yeah, that was a Friday. It was nice. We got to hang out in the camp with my dad. Just talk with him. Haven't been able to have a nice sit down. Had a nice dinner. I think we had a shepherd's pie that night, and yeah, just hang out by the fire and chat and have a nice catch up and chat with him. So that was a Friday. Then Saturday, I was up early again. My dad, he stayed at camp. It's just too cold. I forget how cold it was that morning. I'll put it up when I double check the weather site. So it was fairly cold that morning, and I went out. I didn't have anything to eat, which I should have. Maybe I had a granola bar or something like that quick, but and I also didn't make any like apple cider or anything like that. Something warm. I always like to go out with something warm to drink in my thermos, just so that when I'm up in the stand and I start getting cold, I can have a sip of that or warm me up. It'll help out. Sorry. So that morning, I got out to the stand early. Wasn't hearing anything, and I want to say that was the morning where it was snowing pretty good. It was like wet snow, unless that was what did I say? I forget. I'll have to go back and look at the footage and stuff, but regardless, I can correct it on screen here. But yeah, it was one of the mornings where it was cold and it started to snow. It was like wet snow and windy, and I started getting cold. Like I had walked out to the stand with my Celsius MIDI in my backpack because it was starting to flurry a little bit, and I didn't want it to get all wet, so I put that in my backpack. I walked out. Well, took my e-bike out to where I drop off the e-bike, and then I walked the rest of the way. And I walked in the Fanatic jacket. The bibs I had on already. Same with the Equinox MIDI pants and the First Light Kiln base layers. I had all that on when I walked out. The Fanatic bibs I had unzipped on the legs to let the air out so I didn't get overheated. So I walked out there in that, and then when I got to the stand, it was good. I was fine. I zipped up the bibs and stuff, and zipped up my coat and things. So it wasn't too bad for a bit, but then it started to get worse weather-wise. Just damp, and me not having anything to eat didn't help either, because I wasn't producing much heat to get trapped into the layers. So I want to say around maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30, I hadn't heard anything. Even when I was up in the stand before light, listening and trying to hear if anything was walking around, making calls or anything in the distance or what. Didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. So around 8:30, I started to get really, really cold. So I was like, okay, let me get the Fanatic jacket off. I'll throw on the Celsius MIDI, get bundled back up, and go from there. So I did that, And I don't know if it was, well, the combination of not eating, not having anything to warm to drink, taking off the Fanatic jacket, which left me just in the bibs and the Fanatic hoodie and the Kiln base layer, just for the amount of time to take the Celsius media out of my knapsack and then put everything back on. I was getting cold and it wasn't comfortable anymore. So I had hand warmers in the muff or the kangaroo pocket of the Fanatic jacket, and that was all right. It was keeping my hands warm and stuff. My hands were fine, my toes were fine, my legs were fine, but it just felt like my core was not warm. Mostly in the back, like it found like my back and sides were getting cold, and I just kind of had shivers too as well. Now, for all I know, I might have just been, getting sick. I mean, I have 2 young kids in school and daycare, so I catch everything under the sun now. But yeah, I don't remember feeling all that off, just tired and stuff. So yeah, so that was the Saturday morning. So what I did, actually, no. Now that I think of it, that was the Wednesday evening. Yeah, the Tuesday evening hunt was warm. Wednesday morning was cold. It was the cold and what do you call it? Snowing and all that stuff. Okay, so it was Wednesday morning that happened earlier in the week. That's right, because then I remember hunting Wednesday evening, and that was fine. It wasn't as cold, so I wore all that. I wore everything, complete everything, head to toe, the GTX hat and everything. That was good. So Wednesday evening was good. Yeah. So fast forward to the later in the week. So the what do you call it? The Friday evening, Saturday morning, all that stuff. Everything for the weekend with my dad was, pardon me, much better. It was much more. So I made sure to eat. I made sure to make warm apple cider that I could have with me in the stand. But what I also did was I have a thin Columbia fleece vest. Like, to the point where it's, I don't know really what you'd be using it for, just mild insulation, just something small. But it has nice pockets in the belly area. So I threw that on over top of the Fanatic hoodie, and I threw in 2 more hand warmer pads into the pockets. Then I put the Celsius media on top of that, and then the Fanatic jacket, and I was warm for every sit from then on. Yeah, we had some flurries, but nothing major until the Saturday night. So my dad went up on, or sorry, he took off on Saturday after the evening hunt. Oh no, sorry, it was before the evening hunt. It was mid-afternoon. He had to get going. Yeah, because we were expecting a bunch of snow, and he plows snow in the wintertime, so he had to be back in town to get his customers done for that morning. So I spent that evening alone at the camp, had a fire, had some drinks, relaxed, and it was sometime before 10 or something like that, it started to come down like crazy, and we got a bunch of snow overnight. And yeah, nothing on cam, nothing was moving. So Sunday, I woke up to a big blanket of snow, so I decided to just, call it, pack it up then, and get back home and finish doing stuff that I needed to do around the house before my vacation ended. So it was kind of a letdown, hunting wise. Anyways, didn't see anything, but at this property we get most of the action, it seems, late November, early December anyways. But it was nice to be out with my dad. It was nice to get the gear fine-tuned to where I'm nice and comfortable. But yeah, so that was it for gun season. As you can see, I'm going to be up here for crossbow, and we got a nice buck walking through. He's been coming through again. It's not that target buck from earlier, I don't think, because I've had a few pictures of this guy and another guy, and it's hard to tell from the pictures if it's the one I've been after for a while. But I know for sure the one that we just got recently the pictures of, it's not that guy from the other year. But hey, this guy is very nice as well, and I would happily put an arrow through him if he walked by. So I'm hoping to get out a couple more times before mid-December, depending on the weather, because once we start getting a ton of snow here, they all move off and yard up. So I'm hoping with the new Moultrie feeder I've got set up, I put that out so it can be, just adding a little bit more feed for when they're out there checking the plots, because the plots hasn't been doing very well at all. The plot near where my dad was hunting did better. The brassicas grew better, but not as much. So it's kind of weird. One plot has a lot of tiny little brassicas everywhere, and then the other plot has just clumps of big brassicas. So, or bigger. They're not really big, but at least visibly showing signs that something's eating it. So, regardless, so that was rifle season or shotgun season up here at the camp. Like I said, it was disappointing in a way, but it was also nice to just be out here. I finally got some sleep. That was a nice thing. That Sunday morning or Saturday night when I decided, you know what, I'll see what the weather happens. I'll wake up and see what's going on. And yeah, it was tons of snow and just miserable outside. So I was like, you know what, I'll just get some sleep, catch up. So that part was nice, especially having a little one that hasn't been sleeping too well for the last 19 months. It was nice. It was nice to get some sleep. So, but yeah, so that was it. I hope you guys have all had a more successful hunting season than I have. But like they say, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. So I'm hoping that the tail end of the year will produce something for me up here. So thanks for watching, guys, and take care.